So you black of the white light and screen by sir. Start. 31 వచ్చారు సార్ 31 వచ్చారు సార్. Okay. So good morning to all please. How are you? I hope that you are all fine. Had a breakfast? Good. Now let us see here. It is given that EF is parallel to GH. Both that EF is parallel to GH. And also AB is also parallel to G. AB is also parallel to CD. Okay. So now here here AB is parallel to CD and EF is parallel to GH. Now here these are intersecting at points P, Q, R, S. Okay. Yes. It will be yes. And go for in color. Yes. Okay, then you can. Yes. It's also given that this is px plus 5. This angle is 4x. Now the question here is find the value of x. Observe very carefully. Here AB is parallel to CD and EF is parallel to GH. We have find the values of x. So remember very carefully to give the numerical value of the angle here, particularly we can take the help of two things. One, we should get these two things in the form of linear pi, or we will get these two things in the form of co-interior lines. So two given angles we must take in such a way. So now here I think you know in this diagram angle APR. Take angle APR is equal to angle PQS. APR is equal to angle PQS because they are the corresponding angles. Okay, and here this, if you take this one, these two are the corresponding angles. So APR is equal to PQS, and again you can take angle PRS is equal to angle CRF. These are the corresponding angles. These are the vertically opposite angles. I hope you follow it. So what I am doing? Just this is not APR. This is BPR. This is PQS number. So here you can take angle BPR. Take this as think angle BPR. BPR is equal to BQS. BPR is equal to BQS and PRSL is equal to CRFL. Clear? So here BPR, this is the BPR, this angle is equal to BQS because they are the corresponding angles. Similarly, if you take this as a PRSL, take PRSL, that is equal to CRFL. These are the vertically opposite angles. Clear? Now here we can say angle BPR plus angle PRS and BPR and angle PRS. Observe very carefully. They are the co-interior angles. On the same side of the transverse line. So the sum of these triangles is equal to 180. So now angle BPR, BPR is equal to BQS. That is nothing but 3x plus 5. This 3x plus 5. And PRSL is nothing but 4x. This is equal to 180. So now here you can take this as a 7x plus 5 is equal to 180. So 7x plus 5 is equal to 180 and equal to 175. So 14 something like that. Therefore x is equal to 25. So here what we did here, what I'm telling, to find the numerical value, we must get the two given angles in either in the co-interior form or in the linear form. Now, if you take this one, we can say this is we can do this in other method also. Okay, Chetan, sir.
No, sir.
It will work the one. Let us take it in the form of the linear plane. Or taken it here in the form of the co-interior angles. Let us take it in the form of the linear plane. To take it in the, to take it in the form of the linear plane, here I can say angle earlier we learned that angle BPR is equal to angle BQS. BPR is equal to BQS because of the corresponding angles. Similarly, you can go angle APR is equal to angle CRF. these are also the corresponding. Observe very carefully. Angle BPR, angle B here, BPR is equal to BQS, corresponding angles here. Here, angle APR is equal to angle APR is equal to CPF. Is nothing but 4x. Now here, these two angles, angle BPR plus angle APR. Angle BPR plus angle APR is equal to BP here and BPR plus APR. These are the linear pair. BPR and APR are the linear pair. So that is nothing but 180 degrees. Okay. Now here, if you take BPR is equal to BPR is equal to BQS and BQS is equal to 3x plus 5 plus, and here APR is nothing but CRF. There is nothing but 4x. So now here 3x plus 5 plus 4x is equal to 180. So now similarly 7x plus 5 is equal to 180, and therefore here 7x is equal to 175 and x is equal to 175 by 7. That is equal to 45. So in first method we have taken the co-interior angles on the same side the transversal. Second type of prove that take as a linear pair. So by using these two methods, we can find the value of x here. That's clear? So if you want to, you can copy it out, please. Sure, any doubts? You can chat your doubts, please. At
50, sir.
Okay. Any closing color back
And white shirt, white in the sir.
Okay.
Camera is in. Please.
So now observe very carefully. If a transversal intersects two lines such that the bisectors of the pair of the corresponding angles, the bisectors of the pair of the corresponding angles. Here you can observe BE is the bisector of angle ABQ. BE is the bisector of angle ABQ. And for this ABQ, here BCS is the corresponding angle. For this BCS, CF is the bisector. Clear? So what is going here? These bisectors are parallel. The bisectors are parallel. Understand? The bisectors are the parallel. So if the bisectors are parallel, here it is given that bisectors are the parallel. I mean here BE is given that BE is parallel to CF. B is parallel to CF. What have to prove? We have to prove that PQ is parallel to RS. I think you understand my point. Here PQ and RS are two line segments, and AD is the transversal here. In this AD transversal, so AD is intersecting PQ at B and RS at C. Here ABQ is one angle and BCS is another angle. These two angles are the corresponding angles. Observe very carefully. The bisectors of these two corresponding angles are parallel. So what is the bisector of angle ABQ? B is the bisector of ABQ. What is the bisector of angle BCS? CF is the bisector. What is given? These two bisectors, I mean BF and CF, BE and CF are parallel. It is given that BE and CF are parallel. Now what have to prove? We have to prove that these two lines are parallel. I mean PQ is parallel to RS. So to prove that the two lines are parallel, we can take the help of the corresponding angles. If the corresponding angles are equal, we can say the two lines are parallel. So here what we have to prove? We have to prove that angle ABQ is equal to angle BCS. If you can prove that angle ABQ is equal to angle BCS, here these two are the corresponding angles. If these two corresponding angles are equal, we can say that these two line segments are parallel. Now let us see. Here it is given that B is bisector of angle BQ. ABQ. It is given that bisector of ABQ. B is bisector of ABQ. If B is bisector of ABQ, we can say that angle ABE is half of ABQ. ABE is half of ABQ. Similarly here, CF is the bisector of angle BCS. CF is the bisector of angle BCS. So thereby you can say angle BCF is half of angle BCS. So here ABE is half of ABQ and BCF is half of BCS. So now here what is given? They gave that B is parallel to CF. If B is parallel to CF, we can say that observe BE and CF. For this, these two are the corresponding angles. Because they are parallel, we can say angle ABE is equal to BCF. And ABE is equal to BCF. Why here AB is equal to BCF? Because it is given that the bisectors of the pair of the corresponding angles are parallel. The bisectors are parallel. The bisectors are parallel. Here B and CF are parallel. Because B and CF are parallel, these two are the corresponding angles and the corresponding angles are equal. Therefore, you can say Therefore, you can say AB is equal to BCF. If AB is equal to BCF, what is AB? It is half of AB cube. What is BCF? It is half of BCS. Let us cancel half to half. Thereby, you can say APQ and APQ is equal to angle BCS. AB, now we prove that ABQ is equal to angle BCS. Observe ABQ and BCS. So these two are the corresponding angles. If ABQ and BCS are equal, then you can say PQ is parallel to RS. PQ is parallel to RS. So why here? Because the corresponding angles are equal. Yes. Now think it very carefully. What is going here? If a transversal intersects two lines such that the bisectors of the pair of the corresponding angles are parallel, then the two lines are parallel. Here two lines are given. So remember very carefully, they told about two lines, but they didn't mention that the two lines are parallel here. We have to put the two lines are parallel. So two lines, if a transversal intersect two lines such that the bisectors of the corresponding angles. So here ABQ is one angle and BCS is the other angle. Bisectors of the corresponding angles are parallel. This is the most important point. So given step, see, first whenever this type of verbal problems are given, we must be in a position to read the problem twice or thrice and understand here very carefully what is given and what we have to prove. What is given here? It is given that BE and CF are the bisectors of the two corresponding angles. It is given that these two bisectors are parallel. Here what we have to prove? We have to prove that PQ is parallel to RS. So here they give ABE is half of ABQ and BCF is half of BCS. It is parallel. It is given that B is parallel to CF. We can say that ABE is equal to BCF. If AB is equal to BCF, AB is nothing but half of ABQ and BC is nothing but half of BCS. So thereby you can say ABQ is equal to BCS. Therefore, here the corresponding angles are equal. Since the corresponding angles are equal, you can say PQ is parallel to RS. Clear? Enough for doubts you can chat. Chatting question unte
క్వశ్చన్ ఏం లేదు సార్ కొద్దిగా కింద ఇది ఒకటి కనబడట్లేదు సార్ మీ నేమ్ కిందకి వచ్చింది అది
Any doubts? Okay, your doubts you can chat your doubts, please. Shall we move further? Okay.
48 ఉన్నారు సార్ 51 ఉన్నారు సార్
Now let us move to the exercise part. In this exercise part, it is given that is given that AB is parallel to CD, and also here CD is parallel to EF. Vector statement. So observe very carefully here. Here it is given that AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. Understand? So in this case, and this P is the transversal. P is the transversal. Find the value of x. Find the value of x here. And also given that y is to z is equal to y is to z is equal to here y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7. If you observe very carefully, if a line is drawn parallel to one side, let us think that here we got L, M, and N. L, M, N. Here, if L is parallel to M and N is parallel to M, here what I am telling, L is parallel to M and N is parallel to M. Therefore, you can say L is also parallel to N. Similarly, here, if AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF, we can say AB is also parallel to EF. This is the most important point, which is to take very carefully. So here it is given that y is to z is equal to 3 to 7. Observe here y is to z. So now here, because AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF, we can say that because here it is given that AB is parallel to CD. It is also given that CD is parallel to EF. Thereby you can say AB is also parallel to EF. AB is also parallel to EF. Now here, think about AB and EF. Forget about CD for some time. Think about AB and EF. They are parallel. And P is the transversal. Then what you can say about X and Y, X and Z? What kind of angles are these two? These two are the alternate angles. Understand? And the alternate angles are equal. So thereby you can say angle X. Therefore you can say angle X is equal to angle Z. Therefore, you can say angle x is equal to angle z. Okay. So now here, if you think about x and y, they are the co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So here you can say angle x plus angle y is equal to 180 degrees. Angle x plus angle y is equal to 180. Thereby you can say angle z plus angle y is equal to 180 degrees. Angle z plus angle y is equal to 180. Now it is known that y is to z. So here y is to z is equal to, they gave that y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7. Y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7. So here in the place of z we can write y is to x is equal to 3 is to 7. Y is to x is equal to 3 is to 7. So now here x plus y is equal to 180 and y is to x is equal to 3 is to 7. So here if you want to find the value of x here, therefore angle x is equal to 180 degrees into x is equal to 7 ratios. 7 by total is equal to 10. So 18 sevens are is equal to 26. So here angle x is equal to 126. Thereby now here angle y angle z is equal to. So the question is find the value of x. That's all. I think that's the point here. So think very carefully. First of all, if AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF, we'll come to a point that AB is also parallel to EF. So the first thing what we did here, AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. Therefore, you can say AB is also parallel to EF. If AB is parallel to EF, we can say this side angle X and Z are the what kind of angles? Alternate angles. So angle X and Z are the alternate angles. Therefore, angle X is equal to angle Z. So if you observe very carefully, angle x plus y, both of them are the co-interior angles. So here angle x plus y is equal to 180 or angle z plus y is equal to 180 degrees. So it is given that angle y is to z, angle y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7, but z is equal to x. So y is to x is equal to 3 is to 7. So x is equal to 180 into 7 by 10, that is nothing but 126 degrees. Yes, any further doubts you can chat. Clear? Okay. How many distance are there now?
55, sir. 55, sir.
Okay, shall we move further? Yeah. So think very carefully here. Here it is given that AB is parallel to CD. It is given that AB is parallel to CD first of all. And remember very carefully, this mark shows that is a perpendicular. EF is perpendicular. EF is perpendicular to CD. And here you can say G is also transversal. G is a transversal. Now our question is, it is given that angle GED is equal to 126. And GED is equal to 126. So the first question is point ACE. Observe angle GED. Observe GED. It is GED.
Cells.
Huh?
Cell. Pencil ఇచ్చేసాను eraser clean చేశాక
Observe angle G and GED. So this is angle GED. Observe angle AGE. Observe angle AGE. Observe these two. What you can find here? Observe GED and AGE. What you can find here? These two are the alternative angles. And here it is given that AB is parallel to CD. If AB is parallel to CD, the alternate angles are equal. So now we can say angle AGE is equal to angle GED. Since these two are the alternate angles. Here AG is equal to GED, and this GED is nothing but 126. Therefore, here angle AGE is equal to 126. One thing is over. Observe the second one. Find GEF. To take GEF, GEF is a part of GED. GF is a part of GED. Understand? This I can say angle GEF and GEF plus here we know angle GED. That's why I am taking GED here. And GED is of two angles, GEF and FED. Plus and over here, observe FED. A perpendicular symbol is there. So it is there 90 degrees plus 90 degrees. Just a minute. And this is not 180 degrees. It is 120. And GEF plus angle FED is equal to 126. So GF plus 90 is equal to 126. Therefore, that's equal to 30. The second one is wrong. Let us come to the third one. Is FGE. 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 So here, if you take it, AGE and FGE are the linear plane. AGE and FGE are the linear pair. So here angle AGE plus FGE AGE plus FGE is equal to 180. Since linear pair. I think you know AGE. AG you know. This AG is equal to 126 degrees. AG is equal to 126. So now here 126 degrees plus FEG FGE is equal to 180. Now here that is equal to 4, 5, 154 degrees. Okay. Observe the question here. So find AGE, GEF and FGE. So here AG is equal to 126 degrees is over. And the second one is GEF is 36 degrees. And the last one FGE is equal to 154 degrees.
54.
154. Yeah. It's not 154, it is 54 degrees. Any of your doubts here? So think very carefully. Any of your doubts you can chat. So these are all purely based on three important concepts. One is corresponding angles are equal. Second thing is sum of the co-interior angles on the same side of the transversal is 180 degrees. The third point is the straight angle is equal to 180 degrees. And another point is the alternate angles. So just if you are in a position to identify these 3 or 4 points, this chapter is nothing, please. Any of your doubts you can chat? Sure. Shall we move further? So observe the question very carefully here. PQ is parallel to ST, and also given that when you PQR is equal to 110 degrees and RST is equal to 130 degrees. So now here find the QRS. So here it is given that angle PQR is 110 and RST find QRS. These are problems. Now here, let us draw a line through R parallel to ST. So, say this as AB. Now observe very carefully here. If you observe very carefully, AB is parallel to ST. We have drawn that. Draw AB parallel to ST through point R. So here we can say one thing that here if AB is parallel to ST, it is given that PQ is parallel to ST. It is given that PQ is a parallel to ST and we have drawn that AB is parallel to ST. Therefore, you can say PQ is also parallel to PQ is parallel to ST and ST is here. PQ is parallel to AB. PQ is parallel to ST and AB is parallel. PQ is parallel to AB. If PQ is parallel to AB, we can say that angle AQ, sorry, then PQR plus angle QRA is equal to 180 degrees. Observe angle PQR and QRA. These two are on the same side of the interior angles and the same side of the transversal. So now they are the co-interior angles and their sum is 180 degrees. And it is given that PQR is equal to 110 degrees. So 110 plus angle QRA is equal to 180. So now here angle QRA 180 minus 110 that is equal to 70 degrees. Similarly, observe angle RST and SRB. Here, if you take RST and SRB, it's equal to 180 degrees. It is given that RST is 130 degrees plus angle SRB is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, you can say SRB 130 minus 180 minus 130 is equal to 50 degrees. So now here, our question is find QRS. Our question is find QRS. Observe where is QRS. So QRS. Now, you know angle QRA, you know angle SRB. Here, at this point R, three angles are formed. One is angle QRA, other is angle QRA, Other is angle S or B, and other is angle Q or S. So here our required angle is among these three. So now, if you take this as angle QRA plus angle QRA plus angle QRS plus angle SRB is equal to QRA, QRS, XRB. All these three angles are at the same point on the same straight line. So here, what angles are these three? These three you can take them as the straight angle. These three put together will become as the straight angle. Clear? So now these three is equal to 180 degrees. Straight angle. Okay? So now here QRA. You think QRA is 70 degrees plus QRS you don't know plus SRB is equal to 50 degrees. So now here 120 plus angle QRS is equal to 180. Therefore now here QRS is equal to 180 degrees minus 120 degrees. That is nothing but 60 degrees. Observe the question very carefully. Here, this is given that PQ is parallel to ST. Understand? And PQR is equal to 110 degrees, RS is equal to 130 degrees. And here, what did we do? At point R, draw a straight line AB through point R. Draw AB is parallel to ST through R here. So now again, because this PQ is parallel to ST and ST is parallel to AB, therefore PQ is parallel to AB. Then we form transversal and you got co-interior angles. Similarly here, we formed SR transversal, you got co-interior angles. And fine. Like that you can solve this. So think very carefully. Any effort doubts you can chat. So these are all the problems we are doing from exercise 4.3 please. We are doing the problems from exercise 4.3. You can copy all these problems in your notebook please. Why? Because so these things once again may not be dealt in our regular class. Number 1 point. Second point, we are also trying to conduct online examination also please. So unless and otherwise you copy them, there is every possibility for you that these things can be removed from your recordings. Okay? So we move further.
956.
And 56.
Yes. 45 ఉన్నారు సార్ ప్రజెంట్.
So here the question is M is parallel to N. M is parallel to N. So now here find angle Z. So to find angle Z, let us draw a line through C parallel to M. So this is P. So here it is given that M is parallel to N. And we have drawn that P is parallel to M. If P is parallel to M, here BC is the transversal. BC is the transversal. If BC is the transversal, we can say that angle BCP is equal to X, because since alternate angles. Similarly, if P is parallel to N, we can say that angle ACP is equal to Y. Since these two are also alternate angles. And these two, BCP plus ACP, nothing but X plus Y. Here, BCP plus ACP is nothing but Z they give. So Z is equal to X plus Y. Clear? So, any of your doubts? Okay? That time.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, goodbye.